Hello, it's Silver Grand. I'm back, and so I noticed that some of you have stumbled upon my video. I even got a few questions, so I'd like to answer those questions and explain to you a little bit of what's kind of going on. Please ignore any of the background noise. Where I live, I've got ducks. We're kind of a little farm, sort of. I mean, hey, at least we get eggs. And my mom is, well, she's retired from the war, and she teaches music lessons. So ignore the background sound. This is the only time I could find to record. So, my first question comes from Film Fiction. And this is from Lyra All Use. And the question is, Dear Silvergrand, is smuggling a hard thing to do? And do you have friends who help you with your job? Well, it's kind of a yes and no question on both is smuggling hard and do I have friends who help me. Smuggling isn't really that difficult if you're good at not being seen. However, the changeling horde is, well, when one gets alerted, they're all alerted. It's kind of the hive mind aspect. So, it can be difficult. And if you get a pack on you, it is difficult. It can be very dangerous. But I'd have to say no. For the most part, once you make it to the rift and you jump, there's not much more that needs to be done there. Just make it to the rift. And do I have friends who help me with my job? Well, I'm kind of part of a recon unit. However, considering that one, we all don't live in the same area. I mean, because of practical reasons, if the changelings ever break into this world, we all don't want to be in one area and just get wiped out. So we're kind of having to assimilate into society, blend in, so to say, and kind of each one of us reach out and pull together a base of our own. It's kind of a daunting task, but you do what you can for your people. I don't even know how many equestrians are left out there. That's actually a sobering thought. But the answer is no, I really don't have friends. I don't meet up with them enough, and right now I'm looking for a new fence, so to say, to sell my goods to, because, well, if you know that they're from Equestria, it's kind of important to you. And if you know that they're from Equestria, then you're willing to pay more than $1 for something really nice. The second question that I got is also from Film Fiction, and it is by The Oracle. So, about the war. Well, it's kind of a lengthy history, but I'll sum it up. Because of the bleeding effect that I mentioned in my last video, and how it's affected us ponies, it also affected the changelings in the same way. Only with them, they found that they were actually able to eat substance now. Before, I don't know if you know this about changelings, but before, all they could really eat out of you is emotion. And the strongest emotion, of course, was love. But they became flesh eaters. And even though that they were sentient, they saw us as food. Well, also there was the whole thing about the Queen Chrysalis absolutely hating Celestia and Luna and Twilight and all of her friends and all of us ponies as a whole, so that could have had something to do with it, but yeah. That's really how the war started. And we've been on the losing side ever since. I mean, to every one pony, there was 5 changelings. How do you win against those odds? Sure, we had magic, but they had magic of their own. We never saw it coming because we were infiltrated long before we ever saw a changeling attack. They rose up fast, being imposters and settling us down, telling us what we wanted to hear until they attacked. War is not going great. However, we do have some advantages. The rifts. Even though that they're somewhat of a mystery to us, why they appear, where they appear, and how to control it, the changelings don't have a clue. So we're using the rifts to our advantage, jumping through the rifts, trying to gather what information we can, finding out if there's any resistance on the other side, if there's any ponies who are still alive. I know the internet is an amazing thing in that it can reach across the multiverses, but I am praying to Celestia. Please, Celestia, Luna, and Twilight, let the Crystal Empire be. Please, if they are there untouched and they were able to square up their defenses, and if we could find a way to get back to them, we can take back Equestria. We could once again go home. To my parents' home. My father was a guard, and he fell defending the ponies, the equestrian people coming to Earth. My mom has been fighting without him, and now she's too old to fight on. I was born here, in this human world that they call Earth. But I've been to Equestria, and I want to go to my home, my real home. So, how are we going to do that, other than the rifts? The nice thing about magic is you can alter things that originally you couldn't use for any different purposes. These are toy guns. Yeah, you probably have seen them everywhere, you know? But to me, this is an arsenal. I might have been born a human, but I still have equestrian blood running through me. And my father and my mother, they were the last ones born with ears, tails, and horns. They were unicorns. My family can trace back their ancestry through the royal guard for countless generations, and all of them have been unicorns. We're really good at tinkering with things and altering things. So, I wanted to show you what my arsenal is going to look like. This This is gonna be my way to go. Kind of needs some tweaks. Doesn't quite work quite right now. But when I get it working, it will be very, very useful. I'm going to be using what tinkering magic I have left in me in altering these, so when I actually go back to Equestria, they shoot magic. And also, because we never know when the rifts are going to appear and where they're going to appear, we use everyday items. This is actually a gardening tool. I see it as a close hand-to-hand combat weapon. And considering how the changelings right now are just using hand-to-hand combat weapons, these are going to give me the advantage. I have a lot to prepare for, and I don't know when the rifts are going to open up next. I get a call or a text telling me when and where, and if I can be there within the hour, I get to the rift. It's risky business because you don't know if you can make it back out. I've been lucky so far. Eventually, luck runs out. But I'm here to fight. So, I know that this is going to be on YouTube, on Tumblr, and on FimFiction, anywhere that I can reach out to any last equestrians. If you can hear my voice, subscribe, follow me, ask me what questions you need, help join the fight, free Equestria, help me, help your people take back Equestria. This is Silver Grand, and I'll be waiting to hear from you.